Hello! Welcome to Duncan Egg Bricks and to a LEGO Speed Champions review that is actually going to be the last review that I do in my current LEGO room setup because we are just about to move house, and the next thing that I bring you, apart from a little video looking at how we move, is going to be a tour around my brand new LEGO room, which won't look too different from this one, but it'll be interesting to see. Today we are going to be looking at this set, which is one of the longest named sets I have ever reviewed or ever seen. It is set number 76910, Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro and Aston Martin Vantage GT3. Like I said, this is a Speed Champion set, as is pretty obvious from the logo on the box just there. This is actually the first dual pack of Speed Champions cards that I've got. All the ones in the past that I've got have been single sets, so I actually bought this for the full retail price of £35, which is a little bit cheaper than the price of getting two single cars individually. So let's go ahead and get the things that we don't want to really look into in too much detail out of the way, which is of course the minifigs. As we've come to expect from more modern Speed Champion sets, there aren't many extras in addition to the actual cars. In this set, the only things that we get are the minifigs just here. On the left is the driver of the Valkyrie, and on the right is the driver of the Vantage, actually in opposing outfits to the cars that they are driving. They've both got almost identical designs with these jumpsuits, only one of them is on a base of dark grey and the other one is on a base of lime green. Obviously to match the two cars, but they have been swapped. We get two heads underneath. They are both yellow-skinned and fairly generic. Nice printing on the back as well. We don't get alternate expressions for either of them. We do, however, get an alternate hairpiece for both, which looks nice. Haven't actually tested to see if these will fit on inside the cars. I'd be a bit sceptical about this spiky one here, but they look good and it's nice to get them nonetheless. Right, minifigs out the way, let's look at those cars. One of the reasons I've never actually gone for any of the Speed Champions twin packs in the past is that there's nearly always one car that I really like and want, and another one that I could sort of take or leave, or in some cases really dislike. This is the first one where I've actually looked at it and thought, yeah, I want both of these cars, so that's why I went ahead and got it. So this is a March 2022 set, so it's been out for a little while now, and I've had a look around at some other reviews, and I think they were all generally favourable, and I'm going to follow in that trend. I will, however, say that I know very little about cars, other than, how to drive one, but nothing about cars like these. So this is purely just going to be based on the photos I've seen, and the building experience, and what the end product looks like. So let's take a look at the Valkyrie first, because it's a little bit more eye-catching. So this is essentially, I think, a concept car. It's definitely not a road legal car. So this is a very aerodynamic and very rounded car. And of course, that's a fairly difficult shape for LEGO to recreate, but they have done a fantastic job here. There are lots of wonderful flowing lines, use of lots of different clips and hinges and all sorts of pieces and curves. The overall effect is pretty good. I've got these new pieces at the front just here, which are the headlights. I'm not sure exactly how to describe them. I'll pop one off so you can see what they look like underneath. That is actually a separate 1x2 plate there. So they've got quite an interesting sort of hollow shape on the inside, which is great, means they're really good to integrate. And they've got this bit cut off here, sort of the same shape as a 1x2 wedge plate. And these are printed with the headlight pieces, which is great. That's what we've been asking for a while. And in fact, this set is the first one, I think, to actually come with printed versions and also unprinted versions. So we get two unprinted, one on here, one on here. The Vantage also uses the same shape, but in dark bluish grey with different printed headlights, so that's nice. The build of this car is very atypical. You might be able to see here that the car is, sort of 8 studs plus wide at the front and then narrows all the way down. So this is actually the only structural part of the car that goes along here and then widens out towards the back again. This is the shape of the real car pretty much, and it's necessitated some interesting building techniques such as in here. Now what they've actually done is the pieces here that are used to hold the wheels on in a lot of more recent Speed Champions cars are also used as the body, with Technic axles going along here, connecting there and there. and then that continues out the other end. And they've actually even used some click hinges, which aren't actually used as hinges. They're just used in order to do that offset from 2 studs to 1 in the middle and back again at the rear. So there's a lot of impressive building techniques used here. One of my favorite ones is that this portion here is made with brackets. So these are the thin half plate bits of brackets, but then we get to this bit here where there wasn't space for another bracket. So what they've actually done, if I pop it off, is this is a 2x2 hinge top, which has the same thickness, and it's not connected to anything as a hinge. It just fills in that space perfectly. It's, you know, genius little techniques like that that really make me enjoy building Speed Champions cars, and these were a blast to build. There are some crazy techniques in there. There's this bit at the back there, which is somehow attached through the middle. These flaps just here use a part in a colour I've not seen before. So this is a 1x2 modified plate with clip in trans clear. I don't think this is the first set it's appearing in, but it's definitely very rare. And that's just used to attach that on there, while also suggesting that it's not being held on by that. You're just kind of supposed to imagine that doesn't exist. We've also got some of these pieces, which I have had before, but they are still fairly rare. These are the wedge plates that come to a point. They look great as well. There are a number of stickers used over this set. There are stickers actually used at the front here and here. One sticker for that. This is actually brick built just there. Canopy is printed, as we would expect, and looks really nice. It is actually an exclusive piece currently. Looks very, very good. Looks quite reminiscent of one of the older Speed Champions canopies, but has been expanded to be 6 wide and looks great. This is actually the piece that's going to be used as the front of the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter, albeit in light bluish grey. And inside, you can see there is still somehow space for 2 minifigs. I really thought there was only going to be space for 1 in here, so I'm very impressed there are 2. In fact, what holds them are these axle holder pieces here. So they've kind of got their own little seat to sit in, and you can fit the driver in. Interestingly, there's a bit at the back of the instructions, which I will just pull out and show you, which actually shows you the method for getting a driver in. So if you see here, it shows you put the driver in with these straight, so that like that. And then once the driver is in, you push this in like that, so it more faithfully replicates the shape. It's an interesting idea. Obviously on the real car, the bodywork wouldn't happen like that, but in order to get the correct shapes, that's what they've done here. So I will just attempt to put the figure back in. It is a little bit fiddly. Get the arm underneath that hinge and then pop, that fits perfectly. Canopy goes back on. So yeah, this is a really, really nice car. There's a few annoying stickers. There's some that you've got to line up, like these ones and these ones on the top to get that line flowing across there. But yeah, it looks really good. Nice printed 2x2 round tiles for the middle of the wheels there. So yeah, that is the Valkyrie. That's the crazy fast car. It's also very long. So if you can see that, the fronts are matched, and there's a good sort of 3 studs difference in the length, and this is already a fairly long car. So yeah, this is enormous, but it looks fantastic, and I think LEGO have done a really good job with such an unusual shape. Right, onto the slightly more conventional car. This is built much more like you would expect, with that 6 wide base piece with the 5 offset studs inside. We've seen that on loads of the new 8 wide Speed Champions. I say new, it's been out quite a few years now. Yeah, it's built more conventionally, but there are still some fantastic techniques. The one I really love is the brick-built shape of the Aston Martin grille, which is a really iconic shape. And although it's not perfect, using these small teeth pieces actually really shapes it up nicely. And then these lime green elements along here are, the thin edges of brackets. So there's a lot of nice building going on in there. One thing I don't really like as much are these plates, which are mounted upside down there, so you can see the studs. Would have been nice if they'd been replaced with tiles, although that would have made the connections a little bit more difficult. Sure, it could have been done though. This actually uses quite a lot of stickers as well. Sticker down here, sticker there, sticker, 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 sticker. Printed headlights, as I said, which is great. Printed canopy, which the dark bluish grey colour matching is actually pretty good there. More stickers there. Another big sticker saying Aston Martin rating across there. A sticker there. That, however, that Aston Martin logo, which is just showing up there, it's caught the light. That is a print on the side of a 1x2 plate. Now, I think until fairly recently, I hadn't seen many prints on the side of plates, but between this and the Ferrari logo on some of the more recent Ferrari cars, it shows that LEGO really can do it, and that detail is fabulous. The other detail which I really love is the surrounding brake light cluster, which perfectly mirrors, just like the front grille, the shape of the Aston Martin brake light, which is quite iconic. Just flip this up and in fact I'll detach this and show you how that's attached. So they actually use trans brown or trans black 1x2 plates, which are themselves fixed on to these modified tiles, which go into clips, and those hold these slopes on, which match perfectly with these ones. Now, it's a bit of a shame because I personally would like to modify this with the spoiler off, but I'm going to need to find a technique that will replace this just here, because it looks a little weird with the spoiler off. I get why they did it though, but with the spoiler on, fixing it back in place, you can barely tell, and it looks great. Looking inside, we get the usual 2 seats. There's some sticker detail for the console in the middle, and as with the other car, we can of course fit driver in. I think it is quite interesting that they've gone for the opposing coloured jumpsuits, but they look nice. One note is that I have built these cars with the steering wheels on the right, as we have here in the UK and a few other countries. The instructions do show on the left, but the parts are, you know, interchangeable, so it's perfectly easy to build them like this. Not saying that it's the same for every Speed Champions car, but I wanted to with this because after all, Aston Martin is a British brand, and I thought, why on earth not? So yeah, there we go. That is also a very nice car. I think it's maybe slightly overshadowed by the Valkyrie, but still looks good in the end. Last things to show you are the spare parts. Of course, we get the other wheel covers, which are just the different style that go on this car here, so you can swap them out if you like. 2 hair pieces, the all-important wrench, which is used as an actual tool for us to get these wheel covers off. Otherwise, it's a little bit tricky, he says, not being able to actually get them off. Oh, that's unusual. I've managed to get these off before. These are the newer style wheels, which are dual molded with the rubbery plastic and the normal plastic. There we go. That's got it off. I didn't even damage it. So yeah, that's how you take off those wheel covers, with this wrench. And then we've got all the usual spare pieces. Yeah, nothing too interesting, to be honest. Just the usual 1x1 slopes, tiles, plates, things like that. So yeah, exactly what you would expect out of a modern Lego set. We get 2 instruction manuals, and the parts are divided into 4 bags, 2 for each car. So if you wanted to build this with another person, you could easily do that. And finally, there is the box, which you saw briefly at the beginning. This looks pretty good. Shows the 2 cars on a racing track. I want to say maybe it's Silverstone. I don't really know. It could be. It would make sense as a British racing track. And then on the back, we've got another view of the 2 cars driving off into the sunset, as well as 2 pictures of the actual cars, which I think shows you, especially with the Valkyrie, what an amazing job they actually did. All those colours are perfect. Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal, I have to say. So yeah, there we go. That was my review of set 76910. I think it's a really great set. I'm glad I got it. I am really into collecting these Speed Champion sets at the moment, not because I want to then, you know, go and set up a race course and play with them, but because I think they're fantastic builds. You get a really detailed building experience, some amazing techniques, which, you know, I would never have thought of, and at the end of the day, you get some really great display pieces, and these definitely won't be the last Speed Champion sets that I get. Thank you very much for watching. That was a little bit of a weird video to do, being the last one that I do in this setup, so there will be a couple of other things coming once the move has actually taken place, so I can show you me packing everything up here, and then unpacking and setting everything up in the new place. So this video will actually be coming out on moving day, so, you know, wish me luck, and hopefully it all goes well, and I will get back to you soon. If you've enjoyed, then please give the video a like down below, leave a comment, let me know what you think of these sets, this set rather, and what your favourite of the new Speed Champion sets is. Subscribe to the channel for more review and mock videos, and until next time, have a good one.